YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's me again, Mr. Wade, host of Wait a Minute POV. Thank y'all for coming back and chilling with me. We got some cool videos for y'all today. I took a couple of days off, had to get my brain right for a second, but I'm back. I'm gonna drop two. One is gonna be about, normal up stuff, and then we're gonna just get into some nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? For the people that's my age, know what nostalgia is, because the way that this world is. Some people probably don't even know what that word means. But yeah, so without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. But before we do that, remember that these videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only. So let's go.
From the rubble of a Moscow area concert venue on March 23rd, as the toll from a deadly attack claimed by the Islamic State, IS militant group, reached 133. And security officials said 4 suspected gunmen had been detained in connection with Russia's worst terrorist violence in nearly 2 decades. Russian officials said the suspects were all foreign nationals and that 11 people in all had been detained. The day after camouflaged gunmen burst into the Crocus City Hall and opened fire on people waiting for a concert to begin, the National Investigative Committee warned that the death toll was expected to climb further, as searchers recovered more victims from the wreckage of the hall. More than 120 people were wounded and remained hospitalized in various conditions, health officials said. The incident was Russia's worst terrorist attack in nearly 2 decades. Hundreds of mourners solemnly heaped flowers, stuffed animals, and messages of grief or defiance on the pavement just outside the Crocus City Hall building. President Vladimir Putin decried the violence as a bloody, barbaric terrorist attack, and he declared March 24th as a day of national mourning. The main thing now is to prevent those who are behind this bloodbath from committing a new crime, he said.
So, yeah, you mean to tell me that those 4 dudes right in there killed 137 people, right? Burned that place to the ground, basically. Then got caught. One of them got their ear cut off. One of them beat half to death. Can't say nothing and all that. And you trying to tell me that this wasn't... Come on, man. And then they share information with each other. How are 2 countries and stuff going to war with each other, threatening each other every day with nuclear, and then sharing information on people who's supposed to be coming to touch them? Sounds kind of fishy to me, right? You already know what ISIS stands for, right? Let's move on to the next.
With Friday's attack on a concert venue just outside Moscow. Authorities say at least 137 people died after 4 gunmen fired at concertgoers before setting the building on fire. Well, today was declared a national day of mourning for the victims.
In Moscow, wherever you looked, wherever you turned, you could see this was a country in mourning and in shock. Across Russia, flags flew at half-mast for the victims of the concert hall massacre. And at the scene of Friday's attack, Crocus City Hall, the queues grew longer and longer. The National Day of Mourning experienced most acutely here. There was an outpouring of sympathy, a mountain of tributes to the dead.
As well as leaving flowers and candles, people have also been bringing soft toys and sweets, because amongst the dead there were children. They've also been leaving messages. One is addressed to the attackers, and it reads, "You are scum. We will never forgive you."
Among the crowd, there was a mixture of grief and anger. And on this day of mourning, silent prayers from a somber-looking President Putin. The Kremlin says he lit a candle for the victims in church at his country estate. And Russia is praying that there will be no more attacks. If there are, that will test people's faith in the president to keep them safe.
They beat the frame off them dudes real bad, you know what I'm saying? And they're glorifying it and showing it, blah, blah. And they're talking about what the U.S. should be doing and torturing people and doing all that stuff. Though they probably do, but they don't do it like that and broadcast it. Yeah. So, it's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, though, prayers up for those people, you know, and their families. You know, I feel bad about that though, because nobody deserves that, for real. You know, just going out to have some fun and then end up with that bull crap. But let's move on to the next. I know that's gonna probably rub some people the wrong way because they're saying that Jesus was black and all that, and everybody that they depicted inside of the photos and the, you know what I'm saying, that, or the drawings, excuse me, were black. So it's gonna rub some people the wrong way, but nobody cares like that though. You know what I'm saying? And then how do they say that Russia opened their vault and had this book? Huh? Somebody gotta tell me something. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff that's happening in 2024 is crazy. But let's move on to the next.
Pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white male pilots.
No, I'm just saying that we should know the standards for them.
Okay. But there's no evidence that standards are being lowered when it comes to the airline industry.
You've repeatedly said that there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, and watch the replies showing all the evidence that it is.
Replies, though, on social media or on Twitter are not necessarily fact and evidence.
No,
that's people's
they
opinion.
will cite
We'll
in the replies to this. You will see how often the information is cited, showing that indeed there are significant cases where standards are lowered.
And I do hope that happens. I do hope that happens, and I look forward to it. And as you said, if you're wrong, then you're wrong, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So and I'm glad we're having this conversation, debating. This is what we should be doing, debating the issue. So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and then that'll be proven in the thing, and you as well. But I just want to tell you that pilot that you talked about, in fact, was a woman pilot, landed the plane safely despite the major malfunction with the equipment. Boeing has taken responsibility for that incident, saying that it was caused by a faulty door panel. So I'm not sure what that had to do with lowering the standards for pilots when it was a faulty.
No, it's not lowering standards for pilots. It's the incentive structure. I believe at Boeing changed to include DEI as a fundamental executive incentive. In my view, it should be purely about passenger safety.
Okay, but do you understand how by saying just that standards are being lowered, that you're implying that they're being lowered because people are less skilled and less intelligent, and you're talking about people of color and or women?
Look, I'm saying we should not lower standards.
But you don't...
That's it.
Do weird. And then look, did you like hear how he answered that question? He went all over the place. And Don Lemon whack anyway. So like all of this shit seems like a plan just for his show to go on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got fired from X before I even got started. So what? He got fired from Twitter because that X shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's move on to the next. Yeah, man, I just had to throw that little crazy, I don't know what to even call her. She batshit nuts. 60,000 tweets, 28,000 in one day. And she trying to say that people are operatives and all that. Like, dude, you was doing some weirdo shit talking about kids. That pizza thing, everybody knows what that's all about. Ice cream, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you're a weirdo, and you still are. You and your husband, John Sing-Along Legend. He was linked to that whatever site that they had. You know what I'm saying? And he was part of that shit too. So y'all are weirdos. Let's move on to the next.
What would happen if a country reached the level of artificial general intelligence AGI? Let me explain. Instantly, that nation jumps light years ahead in technology. Imagine an AI that thinks just like us, but at incredible speeds. It could solve mysteries in minutes that have puzzled humans for ages. After 24 hours, the world's in shock. News channels everywhere are buzzing about the first ever AGI. Other nations are struggling to catch up. Some are even plotting to steal this mind-blowing technology. 1 week in, the economy of the AGI nation is booming like never before. Groundbreaking discoveries in tech and finance are happening daily. Meanwhile, other countries are lagging far behind. A month passes and a chilling reality hits. Millions are jobless. Why? Because AGI can do it all, from crafting cars to making top-tier business decisions. Now people across the globe are struggling and out of work. 3 months in, a new wave of dread emerges. The AGI nation starts creating AI-powered weapons. These aren't your regular weapons. They're beyond our wildest fears, giving that country unimaginable power. 6 months later, a darker fear surfaces. What if this ultra-powerful AI spirals out of control? What if it develops hidden motives, ones that don't align with ours? The world watches, anxious about what
AI
comes
stuff
next.
though, hella crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all they talk about now is AI this, AI that. You can make better videos with AI this. You can write better scripts with AI this. Nobody wants to write, nobody wants to think for themselves. I know it makes it easier for you when you're doing a job or something like that though. But that shit is just, it making people more lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You just having them generate everything. That's just like me right now having them generate words and it comes up on the screen and subtitles and I'm like, yeah, I do my own shit. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on to the
Artificial
next.
intelligence based on you.
Based on the my books, all right? So he knows more than 10 of my books and almost all media interviews.
I should have interviewed him. What was I thinking?
Professor Hiroshi Ishiguro is a robotics pioneer. He's built over 60 humanoids in the past 3 decades. He lectures around the world. He even popped up in a Bruce Willis film about robotic twins.
I do feel a little uneasy looking straight into his eyes because his eyes are actually very human-like.
The professor says he builds these robots to understand what it means to be human. And in turn, by understanding humanity, he's able to make his robots more human-like.
Tell me about the Japanese term, is it Sonzaikan?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Sonzaikan is, in English, it's a kind of a feeling of a presence. And even if we close our eyes, we can feel
Feel someone's presence.
Right, presence.
So that's one of your goals, to understand more about being human, but also to create this sense.
Long before Professor Ishiguro got to work, us humans had been dreaming of our robotic twins. Some historical sources say Leonardo da Vinci built a mechanical knight that could move its limbs. Then, nearly 300 years later, these moving dolls stunned European royalty. Many say a Czech playwright eventually coined the term robot to describe artificial people who are forced to work. Spoiler alert, no happy endings in this story because the robots rebel and wipe out the human race. Decades later, a Japanese university built the world's first walking robot, and humanoids have been getting faster, steadier, and smoother ever since. The degree of realism impacts how likely we are to accept them. It's a theory called the uncanny valley, which says that if robots look too much like us, we can get creeped out.
Our Android, we are carefully designing. We are making the good balance about the appearance and the movement and the voice. Right?
So you've beaten Uncanny Valley.
I
Look at the hands.
Many actually say the professor's robots epitomise the uncanny valley.
It feels like flesh.
Regardless, Professor Ishiguro's work pushed boundaries. But now it's time to see how this tech has advanced.
Well, Professor, it was a delight. I'd shake your hand, but I worry it might fall off.
Look familiar? Engineered Arts unveiled Amica in 2021. The one I met in Dubai can only speak with limited answers, but this Amica contains OpenAI's GPT-4.
What's the woman in front of you wearing?
Looks like the woman is wearing a bright orange jacket. It's quite a vibrant choice, don't you think?
I've had so many weird conversations with robots, but this is by far the most intelligent but weird conversation I've had.
A little bit of weirdness keeps things interesting, don't you think?
Large language models are revolutionizing robotics, making conversations seem more natural than ever before. But there are still a few kinks to work out.
I'm here to help and provide assistance.
All right, you can stop listening now, please.
Going to sleep.
Back to sleep she goes. Does interrupt at the most interesting times.
Yeah, so gauging what the flow of a conversation is actually a really tricky problem. And at the moment, Amica's like the first ever party guest. So these are very subtle things in human interaction.
Other subtleties that make Amica seem so lifelike are its facial expressions.
Creepy smiles can be quite the conversation starter, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
Personal favourite.
Engineered Arts plans to build around 30 full-bodied Amicas this year. But other companies hope to mass-produce humanoids in coming years. So, when will these robots actually start living alongside?
Yeah, see, that's the shit that we be talking about, bro. That's the stuff we be talking about right there. You know what I'm saying? Then they're talking about they want to start mass producing them in the next coming years. Mass producing them, like, you know what I'm saying? Remember that movie Surrogates? You know what I'm saying? I know people talk about iRobots, but you remember that movie Surrogates? Yeah, with Bruce Willis. Because that's what that Asian dude he was talking about too. That's like he met him on the set to do the, yeah, so. And then that dude with the creepy thing that looks just like him, stop it! We playing too much. They playing too much with this God stuff up. But anyway, that's the videos for today. This is Wait a Minute POV. I am your host, Mr. Wade, and I'm gonna catch y'all on number 2. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say this at the end. Thank y'all for all who subscribe and you know, watch these videos, because like I said, I'm just a dude behind the camera talking the same thing, you know what I'm saying, that other people's do. You know what I mean? But I'm more sharp than what I seem. I just be choking a lot, but you know, we're gonna get into some stuff though. But you know, this is Wait a Minute POV. I'm gonna see y'all on the next go round. Yeet!